Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I am your host, Christian. Joined with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Joseph.
Hello.
And Jehu. Here to discuss the latest Marvel outing. The only one we've done a podcast on this year, I believe. Fantastic Four First Steps. Directed by Matt Shakman? I don't know. There's no E in it.
No.
I think he's a white guy, so we don't have to pronounce it right.
Well, good call. And starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Baccarat. I don't know if there's anybody else I care about. They're the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
You know,
the guy who plays Galactus.
The guy who is weird looking in other things, who also plays Galactus.
I think is he in The Witch? Is that the guy from The Witch?
He's the dad? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I just assume he's from Game of Thrones. I have no evidence of that.
Absolutely is.
I don't remember him in Game of Thrones, but he has to be.
Yeah.
He's definitely the dad in The Witch.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer shows up and says, hey, Galactus is coming to end your planet. The Fantastic Four tries to stop it. Do they succeed?
What if the answer was no?
For a long time, we thought it wasn't. You guys never saw Thunderbolts, right?
I purchased it on digital the other day, but I still have not watched it.
I haven't watched it.
That ties into did they succeed?
My theory was going into this that they lost.
I'm just going to spoil it. Spoilers for the end credit scene of Thunderbolts. At the end of that movie, you see their ship in the main MCU. So it was kind of like almost a tell.
Right.
Ian had texted me. He was like, "It's kind of fucking crazy that they told us that they all die and the Fantastic Four escape." Obviously, that's not what happens.
Right.
Yeah. But I thought that. Going into it, that's what I thought. What do we think of this movie, y'all?
I'll go first. Who was it that said comparison is the theft of joy?
Sure.
We'll go ahead and get to stealing joy. This wasn't as good as Superman, but it was still very good.
Did you have more on that?
No, that's pretty much it. I really liked this movie. I just think it should have came out first in 100%.
July. I don't have the same attachment to the Fantastic Four as I have to most other things, because they've been bad and boring my entire life. Right. And so, yeah, obviously, I was super in the bag for Superman. I had a lot of investment in how it turned out.
Right.
And when it was great, it lit a fire in me.
Right.
And I watched this, and it was pretty good, and I had a good time at the movies, but I also spent the whole time thinking, it's not quite as good as Superman.
Right.
I also spent the whole time thinking, damn, Incredibles is a good movie.
Right. I mean, I will, you guys know I'm a big fan of Jack Kirby. This probably feels the most Kirby-y a Kirby thing has ever made it to screen.
I think that's a very intentional choice.
And I loved that about it. But, I hadn't even thought of it till you just said that, but Incredibles probably is a better Fantastic Four movie than this. Or at least as good, which it shouldn't be, because this is the thing.
Right.
Everything you guys said is true. This is a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
It's better than Transformers.
Yeah.
It is, I would say I'd put it on par at least with Cap the First Avenger. When it comes to introduction of heroes into the MCU, I think it is a good origin story movie, our first introduction into them. It's not as good as Superman. This movie should have come out in November. And it's, so much of it is The Incredibles. And and I don't mean that necessarily negatively, because I love the fucking Incredibles. But you set it in a very similar time period.
Right.
You got Michael Giacchino to do the score.
And that's what I want to fucking talk about. I want to talk about a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, definitely the specific retrofuturism they went for.
Can I pause you for just a second? Yeah. Obviously, The Incredibles is modeled after Fantastic Four.
Right.
Fantastic Four came first.
Yeah.
Right.
100% that The Incredibles steals their stick from them. But it's weird you made the exact same choices.
And to your point, Michael Giacchino does a lot of work. Not all of it is the most memorable, but the fucking Incredible soundtrack rips.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
Right.
And the soundtrack in this was fine.
I don't
remember what the theme is.
Oh, that's a lie, because the theme is just the words Fantastic Four.
It's the words Fantastic. I don't remember
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, sure.
You're like, this. I thought that was a good choice, but it still is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Again, the movie's better than Transformers.
We're going to complain about it a lot.
100%. We're going to complain.
I mean, again, if this would have came out before Superman, we would have fucking loved it.
We would have all been talking about how like the Marvel is like resetting and coming back to its roots.
I still think all of that is true.
I still really like this movie. I want to be clear. It just wasn't like the transformative experience that Superman was. Superman restored my faith in movies, and this was just a good movie.
Agreed on all points.
Yeah.
So spoilers. Can we talk about the cast first?
I'd love to.
I generally think the cast does a really great job.
Sure.
And I about to sound like I'm about to shit on someone. I can't not see Pedro Pascal.
Interesting.
I think the thing with Pedro is people were expecting so much from him, and he's kind of just Pedro.
I don't agree with that, guys. I think he's really good. I think he's good and like a really different character than.
I think. Okay, here's also the thing that I think hurts him. I think everybody, including myself, went into this thinking Vanessa Kirby, who gives a fuck. And she kind of steals the show.
Oh, she's 100%.
She's kind of the best one in the movie.
She's the lead, I think, and I think she's very, very good. I want to be clear. I'm not necessarily complaining about Pedro Pascal. I think there is a very Reed Richards moment in this movie that he does really, really well. Almost to the point where it's like, oh, you could... Not that I think the Maker is like the best fucking character ever, but you could be like, this guy could be the Maker.
Right.
Which is 100%. He does think about giving that baby up. He doesn't actually say the words, but you can see and I think that is a really great performance. But it's just Pedro thinking about giving the baby up.
I don't know. I didn't have the same problem. I was actually really impressed because like this is a really different character than like Joel or the Mandalorian.
I mean, agree. Much more soft spoken, much more contemplative, I guess.
Yeah, I like the fact that he is still an arrogant asshole, but he's also deeply anxiety-ridden the whole time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought... The one that a lot of people don't like that I really thought was really... I think it's a great characterization of Johnny.
Oh, I loved him.
I think we focus way too much... on Johnny being this jokester, womanizer, yada, yada, yada. Like, the dude was still a fucking astronaut, right?
Right.
Like, that's part... Like, he has to be still smart and contribute to the space mission.
That's something that I noticed about this movie. That, like, it's not that everybody else is dumb. It's just Reed Richards is the smartest, but they're all fucking smart.
Yes.
I really like that too, and I also like compare. Again, the only comparison I have is the fucking early 2000s version of this movie, I guess, and Fan Four Stick, which is also terrible. But I like the fact that we still retained the Johnny and Ben like ribbing each other, but they actually seem like friends in this one, as opposed to some of the other ones where they seem like they fucking hate each other's guts.
Yeah, they nailed all the relationships. Everybody relates to everyone exactly how they should. I will say I'm very happy, particularly after my rant last time, to not be on the side of the worst people on the internet. What's her name? She's great as the Silver Surfer.
Dude, that is a great Silver Surfer.
And it was 100% the right choice to make her. First of all, this isn't just a gender swap. They picked a pre-existing character in Silver Surfer lore and did a story that they've done stories of in like what ifs and alternate universes of. Instead of Noring Rad being chosen or choosing to save the planet, instead Shala Bal does. They did the same thing here, and it streamlined the story. You don't have to introduce another girl character for the Silver Surfer to see the value of humanity from. He learns it from Johnny. I think that was a great fucking choice.
Yeah, on top of that, too, it's such a good mirror if you're going to make Sue the heart of the movie.
Right.
It's two motherly choices.
Right.
Whereas one is choosing to not only save her child and the planet, Sue is the reflection of saying, I'm not going to make the sacrifice. I think it's a great choice.
Yeah. It is funny, though. Sarah hadn't seen either of these movies with me, but, because she wasn't going to have a chance to, and I needed to see it before we did the podcast. But Sarah said, well, okay, when I get to go see one, I want to see Fantastic Four first. And when I left it, I was like, no, you don't. You want to see Superman first. She's like, why is Superman better? I was like, yes, but that's not it. Fantastic Four is just all about babies. It's all about child rearing and loving your children. And she was like, well, Pedro's not that fine.
Well, you brought me to a point that I wanted to get at, which is, firstly, this is the most handsome I've ever thought that Pedro
Yeah.
was.
Oh, yeah.
I've always thought he is kind of a strange looking dude.
Yeah.
But like the first intro with him with like his hair done right and the face, I was like, oh damn, this guy might actually be kind of handsome.
He's finally playing a character not constantly getting the shit beat out.
Good point.
And then 2, definitely dude was on the Ozempic train.
Sure. But the other thing that I realized as this movie went on, I don't know what the fuck was going through the casting director's mind on this movie, but like nobody's particularly Hollywood handsome in this movie. I think he also is more handsome just by comparison, because everybody else is just like, they look like a person.
Right.
Yeah.
They look like a person that might work at your deli.
Right.
But they're the Fantastic Four. I don't know. It's fucking, it's unusual.
I do think it's not really a complaint, but like I do think Eben Moss-Bachrach is given the least to do in it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I think his thing is really good.
Yeah.
Like
I will say it may be a less is more kind of thing, because the moments he does have really hit well. I
That's
think.
true. I just feel like we've talked a lot about it. Like you said it first. Like that he has the voice to deliver its clobbering.
Sure,
Yeah, he does.
And when he does deliver it, it does work. But like he just, the design works, his voice works. He just, of the 4 of them, the other 3 I feel like all have a pivotal plot
For
point.
sure.
I don't think the thing
He's
really
just
has
there
it.
to be the
He's
best
just
friend.
there.
I do really
He's
love.
fucking Kyle Chandler.
Yeah.
I do really love that a guy who usually is known for just walking around in a Speedo, basically.
Yeah.
Is the most fashionable of the cast. He has great outfits in this.
Yeah.
And then I think also like a good character choice on that exact regard. Like, okay, I can't do anything about anything else, but I can look really nice. I can dress really well.
I tell you something else. I wish we would have got a little more of Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
I thought her.
Did we know that she was in this movie?
I think I knew, but I thought going into it, she was going to be the puppet master's daughter. Like she was going to be Alicia Masters, and she still plays like that part. She just doesn't get very much.
Yeah. Definitely, you talked about it being like Kirby-esque.
Yeah.
And like it's clearly, very much an ode to early Marvel comics.
Right.
Definitely the Thing and Natasha Lyonne's character is like the most just like, what if he was the character in this movie?
Right.
And it works. I think it's really good. I think all the leads are good. I think I think Julia Garner is great as Silver Surfer, and Galactus is really good.
Galactus is really good.
They kind of make him a character.
I mean, Galactus is an inherently goofy fucking character. There's a part of me I don't know how to feel about it, because like I get what we're doing here. I get that we're making a comic book movie, but also he's not very menacing to me. Because of his goofy little mask and his goofy little face.
See, I don't know. Of course I loved it. There was no way I was not going to love it. I've said one of the things I could do my 3 or 4 TED Talks on is Jack Kirby versus H.P. Lovecraft. And for a second, it almost felt like that's what this was going to be.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it was more Jack Kirby versus 2001. Like it was like that kind of dark science fiction they were opposing, which I thought was cool. Kirby actually did a 2001 comic, which is great.
There you go. What is the I'm drawing a blank. The guy who wrote like the Necrocomicon and did all the design work for Alien.
Oh, what is his name? If you hadn't asked me, I know what it is. Everything looks like
Geiger.
a dick. Geiger.
Yes, yeah. H.R. Geiger.
There's another H something.
Yeah.
I was like,
H.R.
it's not
Geiger.
H.P. Lovecraft. It's not H.P. Lovecraft.
Definitely Galactus' ship is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hardcore.
Which I guess does kind of stand out when he's still like 60s bright science fiction. This won't mean anything to you, Joseph, but it might to you, Jones. Millionaire idiot Rob Liefeld is so pissed about the Galactus design. He's like, he looks like he's cake. I think there's complaints to be made. He does not look like he's cake.
Yeah. The one thing that I wish we had gotten with Galactus, there's two things that really like turned me on a character, because I do think the idea of like this giant cosmic being that eats planets is kind of silly,
right?
Inherently, but the Galactus like backstory, like how that dude became Galactus, is really good.
You're right.
I wish we had gotten a little bit of that. And then there's this really great kind of like buddy cop almost relationship that Galactus and Franklin Richards ends up having.
Right.
And I don't know how you would have been able to do that in this movie where you just introduced baby Franklin Richards, but I still kind of wish there was like an element of it. Like these two are...
It's still available in the future.
Yeah, these two are meant to be together.
Right.
And I don't think they really tell us... They don't do a good job of telling us that. But they're kind of two sides of this cosmic power coin. And I think we could have maybe put a little more meat on that bone.
I agree.
To do that.
What else was I going to say? I know I had something else to say on the Franklin and Galactus shit. I guess I didn't. Never mind.
I summed it up really well.
You summed it up really well. Yeah, one of the things a friend of mine pointed out to me, and I thought I also question this: why did Galactus jump into the water?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird choice.
Do you think he thought it was solid?
I want to know if there's got to be something else too when he picks up the dirt.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost like he's trying to learn about the planet that he's about to destroy.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'd read it.
Yeah. Why would he care, though?
I don't know. I think that's just a fun little character moment for him.
I maybe took it as a call, as like a sort of serve back to CM Punk. You know, CM Punk, one of his catchphrases when he enters, he yells, "It's clobbering time." And he also does a thing where he like rubs the ground. So
that would be pretty fun if that was what that was.
Yeah. I did like, though, that it wasn't necessarily that Galactus just gobbles planets up. That the spaceship absorbs and destroys them and consumes them over time. I think that's a really digestible way of making that guy's powers work on screen.
How do we feel about the general Fantastic Four effects in this movie?
I think they're pretty good.
I think they're good. You know, this is going to be funny. I'm going to say this. I wish Reed was a little more stretchy. I don't like that they gave him a limit. It seemed not very.
I definitely don't like that his limit didn't seem very.
It didn't seem very far.
I have thought a lot about this because it did bug me as well. But I kind of wondered if it was like because it's not of his own will that it's that's why it's so painful. That it's not really that he's being stretched to his limit, but that he's just being forcibly done. If that was the problem. If so, they didn't.
And maybe he's not tested his limit beyond that yet. So, you know, like his body doesn't know it can go far.
Yeah.
So here's my follow-up question. Do we think that the effects in this movie are meaningfully better than the 2005?
Absolutely. It's not even close.
I mean, definitely the stretchy is.
Yes. The stretchy generally... I think
it's better. I in my heart believe that before I die they're going to master stretchy effects. I still don't think we got it. It's better. I'll give you it's better.
The scene where he's like stretching through the rubble as it's falling, I think genuinely I thought to myself, that looks good. Like it doesn't look uncanny valley-y to me. Like I thought it actually worked. The Sue powers, you guys hear that they did this in camera, that it's not CGI, that like the refraction and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. And they intentionally did it that way. It was like a shooting technique from the 60s that they could be able to get that kind of like light refraction in there. And I think, you know, they filmed this movie a year ago. Like, we don't do CGI fast anymore, really. Right. And I think overall, I think Johnny looks fantastic in it.
Johnny was specifically the one that was like, I'm not sure this is better than...
I think it's great. I think it's great.
I also think it's great. I also, you know, can't wait for that guy and Spider-Man to team up.
Dude, 100%. That is the most, like, I left that movie thinking, God, I just want this guy to hang out with Spider-Man.
I know, me too, 100%.
Yeah, we said we were going to shit on it. This is a good movie.
Yeah.
And it sucks that, like, why aren't the audiences? Why don't they care? Is it because it's the Fantastic Four and the audiences have, truth be told, never really shown up for the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Or is it, you know, superhero fatigue or MCU burnout or, like, what is the real answer?
I mean, I definitely think there was a superhero fatigue. And, you know, one thing that's true of every aspect of our life right now is tribalism. And when DC came back strong, I think there might be an aspect of, hey, this is what team we're on now. The Marvel's that old
people
shit.
Picking winners,
right?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, look, I have criticisms of this movie. I don't like the fact that I feel like we only see it from the Fantastic Four's perspective. It feels like it's just them, and occasionally there are other people on the planet when they just need a scene to make something happen.
Right.
And then, like, it doesn't feel like they live in the world. It feels like the world is kind of just like a shadow box of puppets to get the story going.
I think that's kind of the point, though. Is like it's like these people have become so elevated above everybody else that it's like the Fantastic Four is in everybody else's life, but their lives are not in the Fantastic Four's life,
right.
if that makes sense. Like, they've almost created this own cultural bubble that they exist in, and then there's the rest of the world. As far as we know, they're the only heroes of that world.
Right.
Seemingly.
Having said that, every scene Moleman is in is the best fucking scene. That dude nails every... He's given maybe 5 lines.
Yes,
he nails
everyone
all.
was great.
I agree.
Yeah.
One thing I really liked about this and Superman both, and it kind of goes into what you were just saying, is that both of these movies take the idea that superheroes showing up would change the world. Mm-hmm. Like, the culture, the technology would be different because of that. And, you know, Marvel movies up to now have kind of been more like, okay, Thor shows up, but then Thor leaves and everything goes back to how it was. Half the people on Earth disappear, and then they come back, and then we just kind of go back to living like it was, you know?
I think you're right about that, and I do wonder if Marvel doesn't completely die off, and I don't really think that that's a reality,
right?
But I wonder if the post Secret Wars MCU, which will definitely be a reboot, 100%, we're starting over after Secret Wars. That when that happens, if it is more like that,
right? If
it is more of a world lived in and affected by the presence of superheroes.
Would you like to hear my theory of where we're going after this?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so Secret Wars is actually 2 different comic books. Mm-hmm. There's one from the 80s, which was just a cosmic brain.
The Beyonder.
Beyonder brings all the heroes to a planet and makes them kick each other's ass. There's a second one from the later where Doom remakes the universe, also makes all the heroes fight each other in little tribes. And then at the end, Reed Richards has to remake the entire universe. I think that's how Secret War is.
Oh, 100%. That's right.
And so I think everybody but the Fantastic Four and probably Spider-Man gets recast at that point.
Yeah, I think probably. I think everyone's contract probably ends in Secret Wars.
I don't know. Maybe some of the people from Thunderbolts might still be around, but I think we definitely get a new Tony Stark. We definitely get a new Thor. We definitely get a new Captain America.
Yeah, that's probably true. And I think the X-Men are going to be...
And the X-Men... Yeah. The X-Men will be the defining thing of
probably the main characters.
Why it's different. Well, 100%. That's the thing they got in their back pocket. If things get too bad, they've still got the X-Men coming. And I think the difference just in the new Marvel universe is that, like, heroes have never really been mistrusted that much. Even with the superhero act, like, it didn't really show people on the street didn't like superheroes. With the X-Men involved, it'll change.
And I do like that this movie, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That scene where they get back from Galactus and the public distrust and how quickly you can lose the public.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a good scene.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're stealing it from our inspiration podcast, The Weekly Planet. But this is absolutely like that conflict is something that can be solved with a sticky note. Of like, even to readers, like, don't mention the deal with the baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then none of this is a problem.
See, but I feel like that's a very Reed thing to do, to not even think about that would emotionally affect somebody.
Right, all the information has to be there to solve the problem, so he's just sharing the information.
Time for complaints. I really don't like the idea that the first thing we come to is, let's move the planet. I really thought that was a dumb solution to this problem.
I mostly just didn't like the fact that there were, like, nobody pushed back on it. The whole world's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Within 2% of what we currently have, it's fine.
Yeah.
Probably.
I didn't love that, like, Silver Surfer can apparently travel at unlimited speeds across the universe. Galactus is like half a light speed. And I'm like, that's a really convenient plot point.
Sure, right.
That whole bit I didn't super love. I think the ending is good, which, by the way, I think it's a really good battle to show that Galactus is stronger than these 4 people.
Right.
It's not like Kang and Ant-Man, where you're trying to tell me Kang is an Avengers-level threat and then Ant-Man kills him with ants.
Right.
It's hey, they don't really win. They just send him off into the universe somewhere. They really can't beat him. When is the last time you guys watched Rise of the Silver Surfer?
I watched about half of it 6 months ago.
So spoiler alert for what we've been talking about. I watched it like a week ago. We all know Sue dies at the end of that movie too, right?
No, I didn't remember that at all. No.
Yeah, Silver Surfer brings her back to life. It's very much the same as this movie. I mean, this is a way better version of that.
Sure.
I fucking hated that movie, but...
I want to pull my as a father card because Christian's gotten to use it a lot of times on this podcast. I did not care for the amount of baby endangerment in this fucking movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of baby endangerment.
There's a lot of baby endangerment.
There's a lot of baby in this movie.
There's a lot of baby. I mean, for sure, you're right, Hurt. It is a movie about babies and about caring about babies. If you don't give a shit about babies, this is not a movie you're going to enjoy.
I will say, I was kind of upset by the childbirth endangerment. That was a little too much stress for me.
I really liked the whole space sequence.
I mean, it was good, but it really had me more on the edge of my seat than I thought this movie was going to.
Have you ever had suspense watching a person give birth in space? I would say, though, but I just watched Alien Romulus not that long ago. So.
And yeah, I mean, particularly the final scene where Sue dies, and they're like putting the crying baby on his mother's corpse. I'm like, on one hand, I've seen a movie, I know where this is where this is going, but on the other hand, I'm like, you fucking monster! Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. A lot of people are kind of upset that Johnny isn't more emotional in that moment, but I actually think it makes a lot of sense because of all the people who I think have acknowledged that it's like, oh, we might die doing this, I absolutely think it would be Johnny Storm. Like, Johnny is the one to be like, we're fucking superheroes now. Like, we could bite the dust doing this. And so I think he's just come to that conclusion before that moment.
Also, I think people who are calling that out are people who maybe haven't gone through very much in their life and maybe just know it from television reality shows. Because sometimes when you've just went through something and the end of it comes, you don't really feel it right then.
Yeah.
You've got to wait for the adrenaline to come down.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to say, but I just wish more people had seen this. Like, I think this is a good movie. I would like to see them.
Do we know how much it did? It
did good the first weekend, but there was a steep drop.
It's like 80% the second week.
Whoa!
They still say it'll probably get close, I think, to 600 million, between like 550 and 570, which again, not really that different than those first era of MCU origin story movies.
Right. But how much did this shit cost to make now?
I think 200 million.
Okay. That's still profitable.
But I also, there's a whole other part of this equation that people don't acknowledge, which is like, they don't need the movies to make as much online because membership on Disney Plus is like close to 200 million at this point. Like, it's gone up 50 million in the last 6 months. Like, they're making money different ways. Than
I was about to say, it's about to be higher because Hulu's dying. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Hulu's dying?
Yeah, they're just going to incorporate it.
They're merging it into Disney Plus.
Okay. I was going to also, as long as Marvel got a cut of that Galactus bucket, they're doing fine.
Yeah.
$80 and that shit sold out.
$80?
$80.
Fuck me. Look, I've thought this for a long time. As the classical theater model is rapidly shifting. I say rapidly shifting, has already rapidly shifted, and the market has not figured it out. Right. They're kind of doing it. I think we just need to fucking commit all the way. Put gift shops in fucking theaters.
I mean, it is a gift shop now.
It is.
Going through the line is going through a gift shop.
Get the fucking merch in there, get the action figures, get the keychains, the shirts, get fucking everything in there. And that's how you make your money.
I agree with it, but also, as you know, being in the life for so long and now being an old man, when I walk in and I see that, it just fills me with old man rage. I just go, what the fuck are these people doing?
Also, just one more thing that theater employees have to worry about, but whatever. Fuck it. I mean, I agree with you. The model doesn't work anymore. Like, it just doesn't. So find a way to stay alive, which again sucks because I love going to the movies. And again, a lot of movies haven't deserved the theater experience, but when you get something like Superman
and I think this deserved it.
Yeah, it's good. I watched it in 3D and I did not enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I don't watch things in 3D.
You always know you're going to get a seat.
Heard, I have to imagine you probably, like me, can't even watch 3D.
I really can't.
My eyes are two different prescriptions, and it's a problem.
You know, I remember I kept trying long after I was able to, and the last one that worked for me was Fury Road in IMAX.
Yeah,
so that's a good one to go out on.
I thought the 3D in Way of Water was really good. I didn't have a problem with that one, but God, by the way, that Avatar thing at the beginning of this movie, I don't have a problem with it. I like the Avatar movies. They're fine. that dude just is making The Last Airbender.
100%.
Like, at this point, it's not even hidden that he's just making The Last Airbender. It's just The Last Airbender.
Yeah, sometimes I just think about, like, I have what's the thing, vicarious. I have a vicarious existential crisis for James Cameron. And be like, my dude, do you know how much of your fucking life you spent on these goddamn blue people? Yeah. And I understand he's made $1 bazillion off it. So maybe it doesn't matter. But I just, like, the amount of days he spent of his finite life, just, like, thinking about and drawing and talking about these fucking made-up blue people kills me. I just can't do it.
And it's just crazy to me that, and again, I've liked both Avatar movies too, but
also, we're still bringing back fucking Spider. What are we doing?
Why is this the thing he decided?
Right.
Okay, this is the thing I'm going to remember me on.
Exactly.
Not, Terminator, which may be the most relevant piece of media on Earth right now, which even he said, Terminator could maybe happen. It's like, no shit, that just hit you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's really annoying me. Have you guys heard all the quotes about him? He's making Ghosts of Hiroshima, which is a new book coming out about the guy who was at Hiroshima, survived the atomic bomb, fled to Nagasaki, where the bomb hit there. He survived both of them, just died like a year ago. He's making a movie about it, and he just keeps talking about how fucking brutal and I actually think that's a great idea, dude. Right. Go ahead, please fucking make those movies. But just make them. I'm tired of you talking about it.
Right.
Just make it and let me watch it and be horrified. But fucking James Cameron.
Yeah.
Matt, whatever his name is, 100% going to make
Shake Man.
Another Marvel movie, right? Like,
there's
no way. He's like in the can now. Both of his things have been good. WandaVision and this are both really good things.
I didn't even realize he was the guy from both, but that makes sense. He's the retro guy.
Yeah.
So here's a question: do we believe that person in that cape was RDJ, or is that just some guy?
They're fucking saying it was. Whether it actually was, good fucking question.
I think it's a fucking key grip and a cloak.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably. Yeah, I didn't love the cloak or the mask, but I'll save judgment for Doomsday if and when it comes out.
I think if RDJ was there, we would have seen RDJ.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Or at the very least, we would have heard RDJ.
Yeah, which you could also do with him not there.
Right. Oh, that's a really good point.
You can call that shit in from Thailand.
That's true.
You guys remember in the end of Eternals when you hear Blade's voice?
Yeah.
That has really been the problem of this phase or post Infinity War, is there's been no follow through on anything. Shang-Chi was a huge hit. That's 4 years ago, and have we even seen that guy again?
Nothing.
Like, that's insane. Nothing ever came of the Blade thing. There's no payoff to anything.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Now, to be fair, most people didn't like a lot of that stuff. So
right, but the stuff that people did like, it seems like we see that even less.
Yeah. Though Shang-Chi is the one that I think is truly unacceptable. That movie rocks.
I agree.
I also feel like we as a society, we're like, Mahershala Ali as Blade, sure, sign me up.
Yeah.
And, Kevin Feige, who's a guy, I'm not going to try to act like I'm smarter than him. Obviously, he's had some success in this. But him saying, well, we just don't want him to show up in leather and start killing vampires. Like, no, that's exactly what we want. Yeah. Scene 1. Yeah. Him in leather killing a vampire.
It definitely should have just... Sinners would have been a better movie if Blade had been in it. Like that... You could have just kept that exact plot, and then all of a sudden at the end when the vampires show up, fucking Mahershala Ali as Blade walks in.
I would have loved the shit out of that.
And he just started fucking killing people. That would have worked. Yeah, whatever. I'm excited the MCU has had I think there have been some good things this year. And it does feel like they have maybe learned some of their lessons. I don't think any of the lows are like as low as people make it out to be. But they've had some highs. Thunderbolts was really good. I didn't love Daredevil Born Again, but a lot of people like that show.
See, I liked it a lot.
This is a good movie. Like, nothing, though. We have nothing until Brand New Day. By the way, we've just gone way off topic. Have you guys seen all the leaks from Brand New Day?
I've just seen him in his outfit.
It looks like Spider-Man's real.
Oh, yeah?
Golly. There's like a scene of him people took it like they have this giant crane and he's like swinging on the crane through the streets of Edinburgh, and if you just like blur a little bit and ignore the crane, it's like, fuck, dude, that's Spider-Man.
Right on.
So this is one. It's a different director, right? It's the guy
who made Shang-Chi. It's Daniel Dustin Cretton.
Yeah.
And the guest stars in this one are the Punisher and the Hulk, right?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's the next movie we get
July of next year.
Oh, no kidding. That's a long time with no Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, on the one hand,
it's probably about as long as I went between a Marvel movie, so...
It's probably needed.
Yeah.
And people are going to show up for Spider-Man.
That's true.
They always will.
One other thing I just reminded of, because of Daniel... What is it? Daniel Destin Cretton?
Yeah.
Something like that? Who I'm pretty sure his first movie was Short Term 12, which introduced the world to Lakeith Stanfield, who auditioned for Silver Surfer and was one of the contenders, but got beat out by the girl who is in this movie.
Interesting.
But I would also have been down for that, because I am big in the pocket for Lakeith Stanfield.
He would have been... It would have been a very different everything. Very good. I don't have much to say. Fucking please go see this movie.
It's better than Transformers.
Yeah, definitely better than Transformers.
We didn't shit on it near as much as we thought we were.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be pretty hard on it. But I really like this movie. I just didn't like it as much as Superman.
The only knock is that it came out 2 weeks after Superman.
100%.
Yeah. If it came out first, not that you wouldn't have liked Superman less. You still would have been like, oh, Superman's a better movie, but it wouldn't have as negatively affected.
Sure.
Right, you wouldn't be comparing it to it beforehand.
You would have been like, this is the best summer for movies we've ever had. Well, cool, guys. That's Fantastic Four. What have we been watching?
I've watched a lot, so people are just going to have to suck it up for a minute. We only do this once a month. So I watched all the previous Fantastic Four movies. They're all bad. I don't know what... The internet is wrong about remembering the mid-aughties ones as good. They're not. They're bad. Those are almost parody movies. They're not characters. They're like caricatures. They picked one trait of like, Reed makes stupid decisions because he's too focused on science, and Johnny would never do that because it's not enough fucking, and it's like Ben hates being a rock, and Sue has tits. Like that's all they are.
That is pretty much I remember from the movie, so it's good that it's accurate.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's it. I hate Dr. Doom in them. They're bad movies.
Yeah.
Anyone who tries to compare the two Silver Surfers, cut them out of your life. They're wrong. The new one is just light years better. And Fanforstic is just not a Fantastic Four movie.
I would go as far as say it's not a movie.
It's really bad. I think Josh Trank, by the way, very few people have made one movie that has just ruined their career. That guy directed 2, and one of them ruined his career. One of them gave him a career, and the next one ruined his career.
Right. He should have got at least one more shot.
Yeah, he should have got at least one more. He definitely just wanted to make a Chronicle sequel. Right. And by the way, if you didn't call it Fantastic Four and you didn't really use those power sets, but it was like a group of scientists are researching where did the meteor come from, and it sends them to the negatives or a negative zone thing, and they get their superpowers, probably an okay sequel to Chronicle. It's just the moment Reed leaves the lab while Ben is screaming in agony, you're like, God, this is just not these characters.
Right. I don't need a realistic take on these characters.
Yeah, they're goofy.
Right.
Let them be goofy.
Right. And you're trying to make them realistic makes them goofier in a bad way.
Correct.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I think there's probably a good Toby Kebbell Dr. Doom out there in the multiverse somewhere. Unfortunately, we don't live in that universe. Right. I think he tries.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think it's anybody's fault in those movies.
Yeah,
it's a bad movie.
I will
soup to nuts.
I will say, if you want to pick one of the 2 previous Reeds to be the evil Ultimate Universe Reed,
Miles Teller
would be great.
Yeah. It would need to be not this Reed Richards, but I think Miles Teller could pull off an evil Reed. And I think there's above a 10% chance that does happen.
Right.
They're all worse than Transformers. If you want to watch a Fantastic Four movie, just watch the new one. I'd honestly rather you watch the one that never got released that's on YouTube than watch these 3.
The Roger Corman one.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't there a thing that like there was a cameo of all the main cast?
They're in
this one, yeah.
I feel like I had more to say on it. I don't remember. They're bad. Fuck those movies. I watched Unreal. Did you watch this?
I am purposely boycotting it.
Okay. I started it. I finished it, admittedly, after something. So, let me phrase this. I have 2 boys between the ages of 6 and 10 that live in my house. So, wrestling is on quite a bit
Right.
in my home. And I feel like WWE's had a pretty good run for like the last 18 to 24 months.
I would agree with that.
Been some fun shit going on. And then they fucking brought Brock Lesnar back. And that upset me. So I started this before that, and then it kind of tainted it watching it. And I understand if you're doing a Cena storyline, which you are, like, I get it.
Right.
I understand. But fuck that dude.
Right.
But it is a fun, like, kind of behind the scenes of how did the Cena heel storyline come about. Yeah, I don't. Well, you know, fuck. It's a good documentary. But
Here's my thing with it, and this goes back to like Tough Enough and Divas and all that. If they're not going to protect the kayfabe of wrestling, it annoys the shit out of me that they will protect the kayfabe of a reality show.
Yeah,
because that shit's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And particularly this is bullshit if they're not saying, oh, The Rock got this thing started and then he flaked out and that's fucked it all up. Because if nobody's saying that out loud in those words, then, you know, then it's bullshit.
Yeah, they definitely don't do that. I was surprised at how little The Rock was talked about for a lot of it.
Right.
And then you get to the heel episode and where they really start talking about like breaking down the concept of a heel and a heel comes about and John Cena's turn and all that stuff. And then it's just the biggest jerk off session of The Rock ever. And that is really annoying. Again, if you're kind of interested in like the behind the scenes, I think it does a good job, but WWE is a little tainted because you just brought fucking Brock Lesnar back.
Right.
Like, we're so close to bringing back McMahon back at this point. Like, bringing Lesnar back is literally just like one step off the dial.
Right,
in my opinion.
I mean, it does feel like they're putting the toe in the water.
Yeah.
You're like, well, if we can bring this guy back and he's essentially involved in the thing, maybe we can just bring Vince back.
Yeah. And then we talked a little bit about it, but I watched all of Jujutsu Kaisen. And that's a good show. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things, which is...
I'm gonna rebut you. It is a great show.
It's a great show. It's a great show. I watched the first season when it was airing, and everyone was like, oh, this is a great show, and I got on board. And then that does this... You and I have talked about this, but we disagree a little bit, but I think the plot structure in season 1 is not great. I don't think the choices work. This is why I fell off the show. I didn't feel the need to keep going in season 2, because I didn't like this like kind of back half school tournament arc thingy. But I was wrong. Season 2 fucking kicks. It is so good. It's beautifully animated. I love a story that takes place over a night. I am always going to be a sucker.
Same.
I'm going to be a sucker for like a whole season of show that takes place over one night. That fucking rocks for me. It's beautifully animated. You know, there's like 2 arcs in the first season, and then there's like a little 5-episode arc, and then there's just this fucking crazy bit that it goes back and justifies a lot of the things I disliked in the first season, which is like, we're going to give all these characters that I think are really unimportant little moments so that you like them, so that we can fucking rip your heart out in season 2.
Yeah.
That's why those moments happen. So what I wanted to talk about specifically, though, is I think season 2, but you've said this before, it's a great shonen show.
It is. I think
you can make an argument it's the best.
I think it is the best like distillation of the formula that's currently out. And I have a hard time imagining something that's more focused than this.
What I think is so good about it is that second season is a tournament arc.
Yes.
They're never going to call it
that, yeah.
Never call it that. But if you were like, hey, here are your fighters. They're going to fight each other until we get down to a final 2, and we're going to do it in a fucking haunted house. You'd be like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Good.
That's pretty cool. And again, never say that's what it is, but 100% it's a tournament arc, and it's fucking rips. It's so good. The problem, not a problem. Let me put it, it's not a problem. This is just Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We've talked about this on the podcast.
This plot is fucking Harry Potter.
He is Harry Potter. It's not even like kind of inspired by. I mean, like it's direct 1-to-1.
Yes, 100%. I was talking about the guy at work, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show." I was like, "Yeah, it is a great show. I mean, it's Harry Potter, but it's a great show." He's like, "Yeah." What the fuck? I was like, you've never picked up? He's like, oh my God. I'm like, it is a direct Harry Potter ripoff. But if Harry Potter and Yu Yu Hakusho had a baby, it would be this show, and that is a great combo. That's a great combo.
Also, it's not problematic yet, so enjoy it.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
Yeah. Yeah, you should watch it. Fucking show kicks.
Did you get to the episode? I'm sure you did, because you watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was talking to Christian because he was talking about how good the animation in this season is, and it's incredible. I mean, the studio that makes this is known for having great animation, and apparently they absolutely murder their employees,
Staff,
which is not great.
Right.
But the thing that I think they did really well in this is it's a very action-heavy season period, and they just chose their battles wisely.
Right,
you know what I mean? They pick things that they knew were going to be important, and then they just said fuck the other stuff. And there is an episode pretty late in it, and it's the I think it's the Sukuna and like the Maho, whatever the giant monster thing is, where like the action animation is unreal. It's absolutely like the craziest shit I've ever seen. And there's like 5 minutes in the whole, like most of the episode is a fight scene. 18 minutes of fight scene, 5 minutes of B plot, and the B plot looks like two little paper cutouts that your 2-year-old drew on crayon, and they don't move. Their lips don't move. Nothing moves.
Right.
It's just like it's static animations, and they put some dialogue over it, and they go back to the fighting. I'm like, great, you made the right decision.
Yes. So there's quite a few times in the season where the fight will happen and it'll be expertly animated, and then the immediate after scene will be like Yuji's reaction to it, and it's like intentionally looks like crayon animation. And of course, it's a way to save some money and save some time. But two, it actually works really good
it's
for like what just occurred.
Right.
It's like he's less of a person now than he was when he started the fight.
It's very tactical. They did a really good job.
And it works within the narrative of the story. Like, yeah, the show rips.
It's great.
It's so good.
See, I can visualize that because of a comic book artist I like named Arthur Adams, who draws this really intensely detailed stuff with all these like gags and Easter eggs in the background and stuff, until you get to like the last 3 pages when the deadline's hitting and then it's just two figures talking to each other.
Fair enough.
That's it. I talked a lot, but that's what I watched.
Okay, well, a couple wrestling things I want to hit before I get into my thing. You mentioned SummerSlam. The Brock Lesnar thing did surprise me. That's the first return in forever that I can think of that I didn't even hear a rumor about it.
Yeah.
And I guess because everybody thought there's no way they're going to do that. That's gross.
100%. That's gross.
The Cena Cody match was really good. The CM Punk Gunther match night before was way better. And the Seth Rollins returning from his injury and having faked his injury, that also fooled me. And that was with rumors saying, oh, it's fake, it's a work, and stuff like that. It's like, there's no way they would do that in a way that would make me feel sorry for Seth Rollins. And they did. And I think that's a little fucked up. I felt chumped by that.
I think CM Punk has surprisingly been pretty good since he's come back.
I mean, particularly for a guy pushing 50. He's doing real well.
He's been doing it so fucking long.
And I mean, he did look like someone who had the wind knocked out of him that night, because Gunther was literally knocking the wind out of him with those bloody ass chops. Also,
Gunther's a big dude too.
Yeah,
compared to CM Punk,
definitely. Also, there may be a parting of the way with me in wrestling next year. Apparently, the pay-per-views are all moving to a new ESPN streaming service
off of Peacock.
And I won't have a reason. I'm not going to buy a streaming service just for wrestling, and I won't be able to watch the pay-per-views anymore. So that'll be a drag. Hopefully, there'll be some kind of deal through Disney where I can get them through that. I'm hoping, but anyways, the main thing I wanted to talk about, old Jehu finally got to see Ghost. As you all remember, 2 years ago I tried to go see 2 Ghost shows, and they got rained out with the hurricane, and I've been waiting ever since. And I'll say, going into this, I was a little non-excited, because I have this belief that the 5th, 6th, or maybe sometimes even the 4th record is the last time you're going to see a band where they play everything you want to see. Because they're going to want to showcase the new record, so there's just going to be the hits they have to cut. Except for AC/DC, who's always been magical about this. But I took a peek at the set list before I went, and it was kind of disappointing in a different way. They weren't really doing much off the new record. Instead, they were doing a lot of deep cuts from like the 2nd and 3rd record, and that wasn't really my bag anyway. But we get there, and it was fucking awesome. Like the set was laid out for the show they were putting on. It was like a Broadway extravaganza. I've never seen a hotter crowd in my life. It was like WrestleMania in that place. After every song, it was a pop. Like when Stone Cold's glass broke the night Foley won the title. It was just incredible. Also, I have never seen a show where that many people were wearing the band's shirt at the show. Which is, as you guys know, usually a faux pas.
Indeed.
Ghost fans do not think that. It's not just that a lot were. Most people were. It was weird to not be wearing a Ghost shirt there. It was just a really, really incredible and fun show. Also, I enjoyed Nashville, although I didn't do much in it. When I go, some people go to a town and they're like, I want to see the local flavor. Other people want to see the tourist stuff. I just want to see the mall. And we were in walking distance of like a mall, not like the mall, but like a mall, and I was good with that. I walked to the mall every day. We saw the show. I come home. Ghost show better than Transformers. Nashville better than Transformers.
You'd love Tokyo, dude. There's so many fucking malls in that place.
I need to go.
They keep the mall industry alive and well there.
My favorite thing about Nashville is just because it's the biggest music hub, and that's like one of the only things it does in the South, is every single restaurant you go to that has live music has the best fucking musician you've ever heard. Every single one. And you pop out, you go next door to the next one, they're also the best fucking musician you've ever heard.
We were doing like the tourist walk down Broadway on Sunday morning, and I was being very above it. And then we walked by this one place, and they were playing Chris Christopherson's Sunday Morning Coming Down, which was exactly the song I wanted to hear that morning. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. But you're right. It was just a wall-to-wall incredible musicians. I tell you one thing that was funny. We stayed at a pretty nice hotel. This is all big time. We're getting out of town this year, so we went for it. And at the counter at the front, there were guitar picks all in the thing. I was like, oh, that's a cool decoration. What a unique way of thinking. That's that whole fucking town.
Yeah, everything's like that.
There's nothing. The McDonald's is made of guitar picks.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
I went to a thrift store in Nashville once, and I was like flipping through the records, and there was like a first print of Dreams. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I thought to myself, I was like, this is probably in every fucking thrift store basket here in this town. It's like... just the things that everyone here has and they just throw out.
I thrift store reminds me of this. Me and Sarah were trying to be very contrary. We wanted to, but not too contrary. It's like, well, we're not going all dressed, all gothed up to this, but we also don't want to like go dressed as like Barbie and Ken because that's obvious. So we sort of met at like evil white stripes, but the day before,
kind of just the white stripe.
The day before, Meg's a darling.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was her sex tape real? I don't know. I want to believe. But anyways, the day of the show where we go to a thrift store and I find the piece that brought my ensemble together, which was, and I paid $40 for this, which is ridiculous, an achy breaky heart hat.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I loved it. It's my favorite purchase I've made in years.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
I like the fact that you guys went to a show of a band that you both like a lot,
right?
And is like known for having a pretty like fervent fan base, and like loving the band is part of the, the fandom. And you guys were like, we'll be a little too cool for that.
We're awful hipster people.
Yeah, that is the most hipster.
That's pretty fucking funny. Look, I don't have that much stuff. Anime is back and it's good again. Thank fucking God. Kaiju number 8's back. It's good. Don is back. It's good and still really weird. I want it to be less weird, but then I also want it to just be whatever it is. Dress Up Darling's back. It's really good. I have 2 shows that I liked, and one is better, but it's hard to pitch. So we'll start with the one that's not as good, but easier to pitch. It's a show called Takape's Original Sin. It's a 6-part miniseries about an alien that lands on Earth, that wants to make everybody happy, and he meets the girl with the saddest fucking life imaginable. Things don't go well. And I was pretty sure I knew what this thing was about. The first episode is what I thought it was going to be, which is just kind of a lot of misery porn. And then the second episode happens, and then something happens that I didn't think was going to happen. I was like, okay, this is a different show than I thought. It's not great. It's not like all-time great. But if you're looking for something that's like kind of fun, kind of different than you expect, when I say fun, I mean not fun. Nobody's having fun in the entirety of this fucking miniseries. But like just something you haven't really seen before. Takafi's original sin. The other one that I think is better is a show called City Animation. It's a spiritual successor to another show called Nichijou. And both of them are impossible to sell because nothing happens. There's not an overarching plot. It's just one of the best animation studios making a gag anime. And it's like just gag a fucking minute. And they're great. And it's like the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like genuinely the hardest I've laughed at an anime are Nichijou and the couple episodes of this show. But like, I don't know how to explain what the show is to you because like nothing happens. It's just like people living their lives and being fucking goofy, and goofy shit happens to them. But it's really good. It's on Amazon. Better than Transformers.
Right on.
Have you watched Shangri-La Frontier?
Yes. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I started it.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Part of it is like, oh, SAO is a better version of this, and then part of this is a better version of SAO.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get into fucking SAO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely like a trend in the industry to like isekais are finally dying a little bit.
Thank goodness.
Which is where people get reincarnated into fantasy worlds, and they're being replaced by anime where people are just going into virtual fantasy worlds. So they're not dead and reborn. They're just like playing video games. And I don't know if it's better. I'm glad we're cooling it.
It's the same show.
It's the same. But the stakes are lower inherently.
Right, that's true. Well, I don't know what the fuck. We've litigated SAO a million times.
Anyway,
I know I've said this before, but I'm still not entirely convinced that this part of the show isn't you guys just improving to see what you can make me believe.
Sure.
I watched a show where a guy died and reincarnated as a vending machine in a fantasy world.
Second season just came out. Anyway,
that's 100% the plot.
I think that's it.
I want to go ahead and say that if Joseph hasn't watched Andor by then, we're just going to have to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll just have to talk about it.
I mean, that could be fun in the sense that I will just not have anything to say, but I'll try it again, follow along.
Well, no, I'm saying we'll use our section of the show here
just to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
We're not cutting you out.
I thought you were just doing a whole lot. That was fine. So yeah, maybe we'll do.
Have you watched any of it?
And I watched 20 minutes of it, and I was like, oh, Jesus, fuck.
You gotta power through the first 2 episodes.
I
would say power through the first 5 episodes.
I don't know if I can do it, guys.
I would say you can skip the first 2 episodes and get it from the recap.
Yeah. 3 is good.
Yeah.
3 is good. I don't like 1 and 2. 3 is good. 4 and 5 are okay. 6 is good. 7 to the end is fucking high octane great.
Maybe I can just like watch it in the background for the first few episodes.
You definitely
100%.
I mean, you should get a feel of the first 2 episodes because I have a lot to say about them.
The only point that the first 2 episodes have is that Andor is the one that discovers Yavin 4. That's it.
Great.
That's all you need
fucking
to know.
Cool.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
You know something? I didn't even put that together.
That's why it's there.
I guess that's why it makes sense because I'm literally like, why are we spending 2 episodes watching him argue with hipsters?
I fucking hate prequels.
If you hate like, it would be good for the fucking Andor episode, but you know, people get really mad about Han's dice.
Yeah.
Well, Andor season 2 is just that everything you like about the rebellion came from Cassian Andor.
I hate this so much.
It works. But it's kind of terrible.
It is definitely one of those things that I'm going to say it's good, and then I'm just going to bitch about it the whole time.
Right.
There's literally a Force lady who goes like, "You're at the heart of all of this."
All right. Anyway, maybe Andor. Maybe something
I'm not
else.
selling it very well.
You're not. Because when you said that, and I know what you're talking about, It's still, I stepped outside of it and like, that sounds fucking awful. But I know that it's actually not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll definitely be back with something.
I want to do Warrior. Is that the name of that movie? Where the kids all go outside and leave? The sequel to Barbarian?
Something like that.
Oh, yeah, I want to watch that movie. Is it out?
It came out last week.
Oh, I can definitely talk Sarah into watching that.
We could do that also.
Yep.
Well, in the meantime, thanks everybody for listening. Please rate, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at realphonies@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at realphonies, even though we haven't posted anything in like 2 years. But we'd love to have your follow.
Your input.
Yeah. Also, just as a shout out, today is our good pal Rick's birthday. So happy birthday, Rick. Hope you enjoy this in 2 weeks when I edit it and put it out.
Maybe 4.
Let's call it 2. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Blaster for our theme, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later.